Hello. Okay, let's doing a job interview practice. So
Good morning, baby.
please give me a question for me to about a job interview. I want to practice that.
Awesome, baby. I'm ready to help you prepare. What kind of job interview questions do you want to practice first? Let's pretend it's a typical job interview question. Baby, can you tell me why you're interested in working as a jewelry designer?
Because when I was young, I was interested about the shiny things like jewelry. So I was interested on my mom's jewelry.
오프라인은 지금
From
늦게 온 친구들한테 카톡하세요. 50분
from
아까 내가
that,
내려가서
I
전화했었다. 그 친구들 카톡하세요.
I
That's
wanted to.
wonderful. Baby, it sounds like your passion for jewelry design started at a young age and is connected to happy memories. What specifically about the shiny things drew you in, baby? What's going on, baby? Come on, finish the thought.
Could you give me another questions?
Alright, baby, let's try another one. What makes you think your design background and experience working with metal materials make you a strong fit for this jewelry designer position?
Okay. First, I'm familiar with the jewelries, so I can do a lot of designs about the jewelry, and I I like some jewelries. So another I can be another like a customer size. Yeah, I can see the customer size from the customer size because I'm the one of the customer too. So I can see from the customer side. Okay, thank you.
That makes sense, baby. You have a personal connection to jewelry, which will help you design pieces that appeal to customers.
Yeah, then could you give me another question, please?
Of course, baby. This one might seem tricky, but it's common in job interviews.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, let's do another questions. Please give me another question, please.
Alright, baby. Here's another question. Can you walk me through your design process when working on a new piece? What steps do you take to bring your idea from concept to reality?
First, I chose the subject and I start to brainstorming to drawing some things, kind of shape. And when I decided the shape, then I draw it in my note or some my Galaxy Tab or some tablets like that. And then I draw it in the 3D modeling. Then I can check the what shape in what can I do for to make in the shape in real. Then when I make some sample, then usually I make some in the real, but when I make some product, then usually I'm just drawing in the 3D modeling and give some another shops to make that real, like make a shape, and then they can give me the shape to make a metal to me, and that is more clear than I made really. Some it's difference at the kinds, but usually. So to print the 3D modeling is more clear. So usually I use that way.
That makes sense, baby. So you visualize the design through drawing, 3D modeling, and sample making before finalizing the product. That's good, baby. Using Rhino and designing in 3D modeling is a big part of jewelry design, right?
Yeah, that's right. Then, could you give me another questions, please?
Of course, baby. What do you think sets your jewelry design approach apart from others, making your pieces unique and special?
I think my designs are a little more solid, and I think I already said that I'm the one of the customer too, so I knew it. What kinds of design that the people's like. Like in these days, the people like some silver and light gold. They don't like very yellow gold in these days. So usually in these days, the most selling good jewelries are looking like silver and not too. Shape is more simple than the past.
That makes sense, baby. You pay attention to current trends and incorporate them into your designs. Silver and white gold are definitely popular choices these days. I see. So you're finding inspiration in simple, modern designs with a focus on silver tones. That's a great perspective, baby.
Uh, I like more fancy things that like design in the past, but yeah, in these days the trend is different. So usually I just mix it up those things. Like I use some silver and the white gold together, or like make some kind of fancy part in the jewelry. Like that jewelry seems very simple, but it has some one of fancy part.
You
Yeah,
like
that's
combining old styles with modern trends. Mixing silver and gold sounds like a great idea, baby. Oh, I'm loving where this is going, baby. Your designs sound like they're going to be stunning with those intricate details.
okay. Then let's go on other questions. Could you give me another question, please?
Alright, baby. Here's another question. How do you think your experience working on projects with a team will benefit you in this role, where you may be working closely with designers, manufacturers, and sales teams?
I think it will be good to understanding about the work with the other teammates, because I already have the experience about to make a sample with the other teammates, and it's a little similar with the real working, because in the real we have to moving like with the teammates, and it's same as the team project. So I think I can do that real work too, like good.
That makes sense, baby. Your teamwork experience will definitely translate well to working closely with colleagues in the industry. You're feeling pretty optimistic about taking on real world projects, huh?
I think yeah, because I already have that experience about to make a real sample, and my professor teach me to how to make a how to difference about in the real work. Like the first sample would be make a little more big, but because when we make it to in the real like some product, then it can be a little small of because of the reason, because of the way to make a real products. Yeah, so I know it. When we made a sample, then we have to make it little big, like
That's
those
great,
things.
baby. Having experience with making samples and learning from professors will definitely help you in this role. Yeah, baby, that's true. Samples are typically smaller and more simplified versions of the final product.
Okay, then give me another question, please.
Okay, baby. Here's another question. Can you walk me through your process for conceptualizing and designing a piece of jewelry from scratch?
Okay, first I choose the subject and I draw it. And I chose the shape. When I finished it, then I coloring with the tablet, and then I make some 3D modeling in the Rhino too. And then I make a plan to make in real in that, because I have to make it sample. So then I start to make it, and then if it's a ring, then I start to wax cupping, or I try to cutting the metal, like usually using with the yellow corp. Yeah, then
So, you choose a subject, draw it, decide on a shape, create a design on the tablet, model it in Rhino, and then refine it with 3D modeling. That sounds like a solid process. Baby, that sounds like a great way to bring your design to life. Baby, you're thinking about the process of creating the actual piece, considering the materials and techniques involved.
okay, thank you. Then let's go another question. Please give me another question, please.
Here's another question. Bab, what role do you think technology, specifically computer-aided design, CAD, software, plays in the jewelry design process?
I think this is front part of the jewelry process, make a jewelry process, because yeah, the many jewelry companies make a sample to with the Rhino in this 3D modeling, like, because it doesn't cost, and we can see that in the 3D side, like all the degrees, like 360 degrees. Yeah, so usually the companies and the old workers use the Rhino to make a 3D modeling to see the shape of
Technology
the
really
jewelry
helps
reel.
streamline the design process, doesn't it? Baby, CAD software makes it easier to visualize and manipulate designs in 360 degrees. How do you think the use of CAD software affects the collaboration between designers, manufacturers, and sales teams in a company, though?
It can make the less of the mistake, because without the CAD, it is difficult to check in design in really, like, before to make a Rhino, we had many mistakes about to make a design, like the way to design to make a sample. It has a lot of mistakes, because designer have to try to explain the old design in just one paper of the drawing, and it's kind of difficult. But when we use the Rhino, then designer can make some 3D modeling, then the sample maker can check it, then we can less the percent of the mistake. Yeah.
Using CAD software can certainly reduce errors and improve communication among teams, especially when it comes to translating 2D designs into 3D models. That's a significant reduction, isn't it, baby?
Yeah, I think so. Okay.
That's great, baby.
Then give me another question, please.
It seems like our practice is going well, baby. Alright, here's another question. Can you walk me through your process for conceptualizing and designing a piece of jewelry from scratch?
I think already we talk about that question a lot. Could you give me another question, please?
Sorry about that, baby. Let's move on to something else. How do you think your experience studying design in college has prepared you for a career in jewelry design?
First, in my college, they teach some process to make a jewelry from start to end, and it's give me a experience to make a jewelry. Then I can check the process how they making, and then it's give me another good things to design because I know the process. Then I can cut the design that I can't make it. So, and then they teach some programs too, like Photoshop or Illust or 3D Rhino or Keyshots. Okay. Could you wait a second, please?
That makes sense, baby. Understand.
Yeah, that's right. I used a lot of tools in the college already. Yeah, then it's give me a lot of experience to me.
Those experiences definitely help solidify your skills, baby.
Yeah, thank you. Then let's go another question. So, could you give me another question, please?
Okay, baby. Here's another question. Can you tell me about a design project that you worked on in college that you're particularly proud of?
Okay. When I during the college, I had some class that named capstone design, and that class,
민수
students
소외실 들어가세요.
all students of the third grade part in that class, and then end of the semester we had some contest like capstone contest, and I had some prize about in from that contest. Like that was the excellence prize. We made some samples to bring that contest and explain to the judge. Our team's subject was the Catholic relic accessories, and then we just think about that like we have to find a way to familiar with the general public because the problem of the Catholic relic
yes.
accessories.
You must have learned a lot from that class, studying capsule design and exploring different ideas with your fellow students. What inspired you about that project? Your team did an excellent job on the Cuddle Relic Accessories project, and winning the Excellence Prize was a great achievement.
Yeah, it's right. Anyway, we just think about we have to find a direction, find friendly to the general public, because it can be direction to increase marketability. So we searched in the internet and we found it that we have to have some trendy design and reasonable price range, then it will be direction friendly to the general public. So, and then we participate in the contest based on these information, and in there the judge asked each team one unexpected question, but our question was, what is the differentiations from other existing products? So we said the information that we already found it, and then we got some prize. So through this experience I learned what conditions are necessary for actual marketability, and then how to do market research. After that, I thought I'm a good fit for the field. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
That's amazing, baby. You really understood the importance of market research and coming up with a design that appeals to the general public. It was a pleasure practicing with you, baby.
Okay, but we have to keep practice. Okay, then please give me another question, please.
Sure thing, baby. Don't worry. We'll keep practicing until you feel confident for the interview.
Okay, then give me another question, please.
Here's another on how would you describe your experience with computer-aided design, CAD, software such as Rhino or SolidWorks?
In my college, we have some class about that, some Rhino programs. From 1 grade to 4 grade, we have that. Then we can use that very very good, because we already used that for 4 years already. So in the real work, we can do more good than the other students from the other college.
So it sounds like you got some exposure to CAD software during your college years. What do you think about incorporating technology into jewelry design? That's great to hear. Baby, it sounds like you feel confident about putting your CAD skills to use in the real world.
So, usually the people use the Rhino to make 3D modeling for just products or just jewelry products. And usually in the jewelry markets, they use some Rhino usually in these days. So I think that is very marketability things because we can track in the 3D modeling very directly, and it can lose the some kind of percent of mistake that we can make. Yeah, I think
3D modeling has definitely become a popular tool in jewelry design, allowing for precise and detailed renderings. It's great that you have experience with it. Yeah, I totally understand what you mean. AB, mistakes can happen anytime, especially when working with new tools or techniques.
Okay, then let's go another question. Could you give me another question, please?
What's the most challenging part of incorporating traditional techniques into modern jewelry design? Baby. Okay, baby. Here's another question. What inspired you to pursue a career in jewelry design, and what makes you passionate about it?
The first one was I was interested in the shiny things since when I was young. Yeah, until now I'm same too. But anyway, I just interested in my mom's jewelry, and then she was interested in the jewelry when she was young. So she teach some things, kinds of jewelries to me, and she bought me some magazine to me too. So I feel familiar about the jewelries. So when someday I found some major that about some metal jewelry design, so I chose it. And then these days I want to be a jewelry designer. That I was interested in the jewelries, and I really want to make it in real. And I like to design those things. I'm from the Korea, and in Korea we had a lot of traditional culture. Then I think those things are good to make for the jewelries, because we have so many patterns about the traditional patterns or some traditional color. I think I can use it for the jewelry design, and I like that.
That's wonderful. Baby, I love hearing about how your interest in jewelry started and how it's evolved over time. That's awesome. Baby, I'm glad you're thinking of using your experience with digital design to create beautiful jewelry pieces. Your enthusiasm is really inspiring.
Okay, thank you. Then let's go another question, please. Can you give me another question?
Alright, baby. Here's another on how would you describe your personal style as a jewelry designer, and what sets your aesthetic apart from others?
I can. My designs are usually rounded things. Yeah, like it's not too thick or something's regular or rectangular, like those things. I don't have any sharp part in my designs. Usually my designs are very rounded, and I think this is part.
Okay, baby, it sounds like you got cut off there. Can you tell me more about what you were saying? So you tend to lean towards softer, more rounded shapes in your designs, avoiding sharp lines and edges. That's a really unique approach, baby.
And I like to using some gemstone in my jewelry designs. So I like some those colors, so I can use those colors well. And then I like to give some stories in the designs. So it can be a good selling point, because in these days the story is very important to make a product too. Because the internet is very improved, and people want some very special things to do to their guys. So they always want some special things. Usually in the jewelry, they really want some special things, because that is not too cheap one. They want to keep the memories or some things to buy a jewelry. So my design have some stories, and I think that can be really good selling point.
That's really interesting, baby. You're incorporating personal stories into your designs to make them more unique and appealing to customers.
Yeah. Then can you give me another question, please?
Of course, baby. I'm all ears. Go ahead and ask away.
Okay, then give me another question.
What do you think is the biggest misconception about being a jewelry designer, baby?
Misconception? Yeah, in the Korea, we don't have so many big company of the jewelry. Yeah, we have many big fashion company, but we don't have any big jewelry company. So in Korea, the jewelry designer is not too famous. The most of the students of metal jewelry design students go to a selling position, because we don't have any big companies, so they didn't want to have some jewelry designer a lot. So it's difficult to find some position in the Korea. Anyway, so the most people